Hello everybody, welcome back to another edition of Homemade, and today you all, we are making chicken and sausage gumbo. Yes, and this gumbo, it is very simple. I know everybody has different variations of their gumbo, but it is really simple. We are going to prepare our stock. The only thing that we're going to add to this stock is chicken bouillon. And I am going to add 2 tablespoons to 12 cups of water. I'm not going to use a bunch of chicken, but I am going to use a leg quarter, and I've already washed it. And I'm going to use 1 drumstick. Now, we are going to put the top on our broth. I'm going to cook it between medium and high heat for, again, 45 minutes to an hour. Once that happens, we're going to come back and we're going to actually start to prepare our gumbo. Our chicken is cooked. I removed it from the pot. It is cooling, so I can debone it. We are about to start preparing our gumbo. Now, the first thing we want to do, we want to make sure that we create our roux. And the darker the roux, the better. We don't want to burn it, but we do want it to be dark. It gives the gumbo so much more of a better taste to me. Now, we're going to start out. I've already preheated my pot. We're going to go ahead and add 2/3 cups of oil. We're going to let that heat up just a little, and then we're going to add our 1 cup of flour. Now, once we add the flour, you do want to make sure that you whisk it quite frequently, because you don't want it to burn. Now, it's a difference in it getting brown and a difference in it burning. You don't want it to burn. You just want it to get brown. After it gets brown, we're going to add in our diced vegetables. In here, I have 1 diced red onion. I have 1 diced bell pepper, and I also have 4 stalks of celery that I diced up. We're going to put those into the roux, let those cook for a few minutes. Then we're going to add in our seasonings. Now, for our seasonings, I like for my gumbo to be very seasoned. So I have 2 tablespoons of onion powder, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder. I do have a tablespoon of paprika. I have 1 teaspoon of celery salt, 1 tablespoon of Creole Seasoning, because again, remember, we don't want it to be salty because we did put the bouillon into our broth. Also, I have 1/2 teaspoon of Cayenne Pepper. After we put our vegetables in, we are also going to put in about 2 tablespoons of our minced garlic. Now, I don't put my chicken and my sausage in until it gets closer to being done. I like to add them in probably around the 35-minute mark. So, we're just going to make sure that all of our flour is incorporated into the oil. I'm going to keep stirring this until it gets brown enough. We're going to come back and we're going to start to assemble our gumbo. As you can see, our roux is darkening up, but we still want it to get a little darker. And I will say, when you are stirring your roux, you want to make sure that you are touching the bottom of your pot, because you don't want it to stick and burn. So as you can see, our roux, it is really dark, and I am satisfied with the color and the consistency of my roux. If you want it to get a little darker, feel free to keep cooking it. You just want to make sure, again, that you are constantly stirring and that you are touching the bottom of your pot. So I'm going to go ahead, add in my vegetables. I'm going to give those, season them with my seasonings. Give them a quick stir. We're going to go ahead and add in our garlic. So I've added in roughly about 2 tablespoons of that garlic. Give it another quick stir. So now we're going to go ahead and add in our chicken stock. So we're going to put in about 8 cups of our chicken stock. And this is 2 cups in 2-cup increments. We had just enough, literally. Put a little extra in there. So we have 8 cups of our stock in there. Gonna give that a nice little whirl. Make sure your lumps are broken up. Okay, so now we are going to add in our bay leaves. And I like to put in about 3 to 4 bay leaves. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to reduce the heat. I am going to let this cook for an hour. But at about the 30-minute mark, I'm going to come in. I'm going to put my sausage. And I'm also going to put my deboned chicken in. And I also have about a cup of okra. If you want to do less, that's fine. Our 30-minute mark. It is now time for us to put in our chicken, our sausage, and our okra. And I'm going to go ahead, add in my chicken. Gonna add in my sausage. And for my sausage, you all, I just chopped up maybe about a full length of sausages. And for my okra, I'm gonna put that in. And remember, we are still cooking this on low to medium heat. We're gonna let this cook for about 30 more minutes. I'm gonna stir it at the 15-minute mark. After 30 minutes, it will be done. And we are going to come back and sample this goodness. Our gumbo has completed cooking. I did cut it off. Now, I just left it sitting here with the lid on, and it's been sitting here for about 5 or 10 minutes. So you do want to let it rest once it completes cooking. And you all just look at that. Look at our chicken and sausage gumbo, and it smells so good. It is still hot, so I'm going to be careful. You all. OMG. This is good. This is good. Now, again, I know there are different variations of gumbo. If you make your gumbo a different way, let me know. Leave a comment, leave a picture in the comment section. I want to hear from you. If you want to keep seeing our easy homemade recipes, y'all, make sure you like, subscribe, and share our channel. I always say this, cooking, it's as easy or as hard as you make it. But I promise you, if you keep it simple, just be yourself, life in itself can be so much easier. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Homemade. And until next time, continue to be great.